Welcome back, everyone, to another edition of BeReel365. Today's question: who do you think of when you need an inspiration for success? What are his or her qualities that you would like to emulate? Uh, I have a lot of inspirations for success, both personal in my own life and then the people I've never met before that I see as successful and inspire me to achieve success. First and foremost, my mom, and this is only just recently. Many of you know that my mom passed away a couple years ago, and it wasn't until really a few years before that that I started to even think about how much of a successful woman she really was. Um, she raised me on her own because my dad passed away when I was 7. She worked nonstop to provide a good life for us, a nice house. I went to a private school. And so she really sacrificed a lot. And she did it all on her own, which is crazy. She never remarried. She dated a few times, but nothing really serious. And so to think back now, to know that she did all of that by herself is just insane to me. That's just so crazy. That's for me a level of success. And it's not even just that. She had cancer twice. She beat both cancers. So breast cancer once, and then the second rarest form of leukemia a few years after that. And for someone to push through both of those things and seeing every day the kind of agony that she was going through, and I just to try to emulate a strong sense of mind, my mom would be the first one that comes up for sure for that. I can't imagine having a 7-year old and having your husband pass away out of nowhere because that's what happened with my dad. Uh, he went in for gallbladder surgery one day and a few days later was back at home and ended up having a blood clot in his leg that went and filled up his lungs in the middle of the night. It was about 2 a.m., I think, in the middle of the night. And my mom woke up to that happening just in the middle of everything. It had already started to happen. The doctors found out later. And I can't imagine not only what it's like to wake up to that, to the man you love going through that, and then going to the hospital and losing him, and then having to go right back home to take care of your 7-year-old son. I can't even fathom that. So the mental toughness and strength that my mom showed over years is just absolutely incredible to me. Because at the end of the day, I think success really boils down to that. How tough are you mentally to be able to deal with all of the setbacks on your way to success? Most people don't achieve success because they can't handle the setbacks. They aren't mentally strong enough. So that is the very first thing I think about when I need an inspiration for success. I think of my mom. Beyond that, the typical uh, people that I look to for success, there's various ones. Different authors, uh, bloggers now. Tim Ferriss is one. I just think it's incredible that he tries so many different things. You know, people have got on me quite often for trying and doing so many different projects, and it was always looked bad upon. I'm like, why is it bad? I'm just curious about a bunch of different things, and so I'm exploring all of those different things. I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing, Tim Ferriss is someone that I look to for inspiration for that because he actually takes the time to explore all these different avenues. Chase Jarvis is one from a creative sense. Chase Jarvis is a photographer, owner of Creative Live, an online learning platform. He is someone that I look to for inspiration. He's got a new book out, Creative Calling, I think is the name of it. Very much looking forward to reading that. So he was a photographer and and then became an entrepreneur, and he's a philosopher, and he was supposed to be a pro soccer player at one point, and some things happened. And just from a business standpoint and creatively, what he has done has been an inspiration for me as far as success. Tony Robbins, obviously, I've read a lot of his stuff, listened to a lot of his podcasts and videos. Definitely an inspiration for me, success wise. Who else would I say? Gary Vee, by far. I don't really adhere to the hustle, 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 hustle aspect that Gary Vee does. That's not for everyone. I do like more of a balance, although it's very interesting now that I am in a mindset now, literally within the last few weeks, just some things happening in business and in life in general, where I actually have switched my mindset to more of a work my ass off now as much as possible so that I can live the life I want 5 years from now. So that's very much a mindset of now. But I love the straightforwardness of Gary Vee. I love that he doesn't care if people know that he cusses. I love the authenticity of Gary Vee. I think that is something that you need to be successful in life, is to be authentic to yourself and to others. And then just business people around me in general that I've looked up to, business mentors that I've had over the years. I try to surround myself, going back to the statement I think I made either yesterday or the day before, which I know you guys have heard plenty of times, which is you are the product of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Uh, for me, as I said a couple of days ago, I have a very small group of friends, one or two, and so there are not really 5 people that I spend a whole lot of time with. I think the misconception with that saying is that a lot of people think that those have to be people you physically spend time with, like in person spend time with. I don't believe that that's so. I think that I can spend time with influential people through books, through podcasts, through YouTube videos. There's a lot of different outlets in order to surround yourself with positive people, successful people. So keep that in mind. Who are the people that you see as successful? If you could surround yourself with 5 people that you see as successful that aren't in your everyday life, then who would those 5 people be? I'm very curious to know. Let me know either in the comments, send me a DM, a message, an email, something. A text if you have my number. Let me know. I'm very curious who your 5 people that you will surround yourself with. And they don't have to be living. Let's throw that caveat out there. I don't know who my 5 people would be right offhand, just in this video. I will release that later, though, because I want to actually think about that. Who are the 5 people? If I could surround myself with any 5 people in the world, both living or not living, who would they be? Yeah. Success for me is living a life that I desire. Success no more for me is based on monetary value alone. It used to be, but not anymore. If I were to say I were living a successful life, it would mean that I do have enough money to cover my expenses and do what I would like, but also enough money to give back. But beyond that, it would only be successful if I was doing something that I absolutely love doing. That for me is success. Can you say that about you and your life? How do you view success?